Welcome to Matters Financial and Geopolitical from a Frontier, and thank you for stopping by. Let's move on to international markets. There's a new Brexit deadline. EU leaders agreed to extend Britain's exit date until October, but it's called a flextension, i.e. if they can get their act together before, they can go earlier. I don't think they will. Currency markets, let's take a look. Euro dollar 112.80. Draghi was very bearish yesterday and it didn't react lower significantly, which is something that, somebody like myself who's a dollar bull has got to consider. Dollar index 96.91, Japanese yen 111.10. The Swiss franc, where's that? 10012. The pound, 130.96 last. I'm not bullish about the pound. I think we test 130 before we test 132. Let's see how that plays out. The Australian dollar, which has been on a bit of a run, I think that's all been about the China-US truce. 0.7155. I'm not bullish about that either. India rupee 68.989. South Korean won 1139.33. Brazilian real 382.55, the Egyptian pound 17.3293. I like the Egyptian pound a lot, as I've done for quite a while. And the South African rand 13.9276. Moody's giving Ramaphosa the benefit of the doubt. This is a chart of the dollar index from simple_trends. He says this looks like a bull flag, should break out finally soon. Triple tops are unicorn patterns. Triple tops are there to run the stops, he says. And this is the point about the euro. David Inglis picks up on it. With all the bad news and everything in between, one would think the euro would have fallen below 112 long time ago. That's what I think. The Australian dollar last at 0.7160. This is a chart from Simple Trends again. He's bearish. Everyone else that I follow is very bullish. John Gapper in the Financial Times, Boeing was lured into hubris, and that's a real Shakespearean trait, by its commercial success. It could not believe it had blundered so badly trying to avoid harm. When the Ethiopian Airlines accident followed in March, its initial response was to insist that the 737 MAX was airworthy. Global regulators had to intervene to puncture the illusion that it knew best. What took Boeing so long? Boeing's failure was also human error. It was lured into hubris by its commercial success and safety record. It could not believe it had blundered so badly in trying to avoid harm. With hindsight, the reaction of Boeing and the FAA on the day after the second crash feels absurd. To date, we have not been provided data to draw any conclusions or take any actions, the FAA declared. As Andrew Blackie, a consultant and former UK crash investigator, says, you've just lost 2 aircraft in similar circumstances. Why would you still have confidence? And then just touching on the 787 was a success, but accumulated $30 billion in cash losses because it was a new model with fresh technology, including composite materials before the crashes. The MAX derivative of the 737 came far cheaper and was far more profitable. I, of course, wrote about this on the 18th of March when I said the lack of touch and finesse displayed by Boeing over the last 7 days is mind-boggling. It took them 14 days to get a proper statement out. The message Boeing sent was safety came second, a simply untenable position. In contrast, Boeing took a big hit. Ethiopian, I said, actually handled themselves with tremendous decorum, and that Boeing's corporate reactions to a fast-moving situation were absolutely a D-. Commodity markets, gold has crept back above 1300, 1304.80. Let's see how long that lasts. I would sell any further bounce. Crude oil, which shot through the target I had of 62.50, but it's now hovering around 64.20. I think the Libya worries lifted it through that resistance level. Let's see if it can hold. I don't think so. Coffee prices are languishing near a 13-year low. Here's a look at who's winning and losing from the rout. Listen to this, coffee shop drinkers are actually paying more for a cup now than they were in 2011. An espresso at Starbucks has risen about 20%. In some coffee growing countries, the market price of Arabica is below the cost of production, and it's hard for farmers to suddenly switch to other crops. That's because coffee trees last several years once planted. And this is a problem in Kenya as well. But Kenya, what's happened is the coffee farms actually were ringing Nairobi. This was the best coffee growing land. And as the city has expanded, it's become more valuable to just do real estate.